This is a story of Bandana Grace, another Fruit of the Spirit series from the Bandana Kids by Peggy Parrish. Bandana Grace was a tall girl for being only 13, kind of girl who didn't yell, but she was often seen at sports, church, home, even while at school. Grace tried with all her heart to keep each and every rule. She smiled and shook the hands of grown-ups with a smile. A peace seemed to come from her that lasted folk a while. She visited the older in hospitals and never did complain. She carried herself with a confidence most could not explain. With her long arms and fingers, she helped out here and there. Wherever Grace spent her time, her smile and peace she'd share. There was one week of challenge when disaster hit her town. There were not near enough caring people like Grace around. A storm brought branches down with flooding everywhere. Electrical power was out, and no outside help came there. At least for days and days, the town seemed upside down. With needs and wants crying out, people were scared in town. People were hauling water by hand, and even more was hard. This was a week many were happy when Grace came to their yard. She had once gone to church camp and met a girl named Anna. Anna had inspired her to be friends with God and given her a bandana. The truth be known, Grace had ordered colored bandanas recently in a box. Suddenly, she saw how to help her town on her walks. She made a list of useful things and took her bike on a ride. She stopped at people's houses, laying her needs aside. She had asked God to use her, so she gave out his smile. She talked people along their way, each for a little while. Each family found her visit seemed to give them peace. Their fears started to leave. When Grace prayed, it brought release. She showed them her list and asked if they had things to give. Some shared things, some did not, but Grace made them want to live. As she gathered together things on her bike, in her basket and backpack, she found a few young people to help gather and then go back. Jed, Lily, and Zeke joined her to fill water jugs. She kept her list of needs and names and kept on helping still. Her help followed on bikes behind, bringing well water to people in need. This was her first goal. There was more to do indeed. Food, batteries, and blankets she collected up to share. Pretty soon, besides 4 kids, some young dads appeared there. A few had motorcycles built for rough terrain. They began to take the jugs of water, yes, even in the rain. Grace and her helpers left notes and lists all around. Soon things began to come as if miraculously found. Grace and the helpers had lists of what they needed to bring. They gathered up from people, it seemed like everything, and brought it to those in need, sometimes in a colored bandana. Each time Grace gave a smile and her story of Bandana Anna. After 10 days or more, the town had lost most of its fear. Outside help came a little late and gasped at what happened there. Destruction from high winds, flooding on their land. It looked like a town that could still use a hand. The structure and damage was great, but peace was on each face. When outside help asked, the town pointed to a smiling girl named Grace.